3 balls on a string. Small, simple invention started by Larry Shaw. The idea originated around 1987 when Larry was playing with hex nuts on dental floss. At that time in San Francisco, he realized that this active leg orbiting could be the basis for an entire new toy. He did a lot of experiments with the ebb and the flow. Ebb is the end bob at the end of the string. Flow is the middle one that slides and works as a clutch, a torque to these active legs. So you've got side to sides, up and downs, or vertical orbits, round and rounds, or horizontal orbits. And once you get the hang of controlling the orbit in its direction, it can rotate towards your hand and you can catch it in your hand. Rotate towards your hand, you can catch it in your hand. You want it to rotate towards your fingertips to make it easier just to fall into your hand. Because then once you get the hang of that, you can let go of this one before you catch this one. And so for a moment, you're not touching it at all. And you begin to juggle it. That is the first step. You need to learn how to hang all these different positions. Different ways you could hold the ball string or a combination hold. That becomes the first step. You have to learn your basic holds, so you learn how to hang. And hang then goes into how to swing. You'll learn control of this lull, which is taking the force of a full orbit circle and putting it into a swing. So you take all this force and learn how to lull it out. You want full control of the string to the flow. So you learn how to flow, go in and out of tangling and timings and release. I can purposely let the string go taut so I can control it, or I can let it loosen up, and then that is within the release points that I can make. But you want to find the rhythm to it all. I figured this position out, chaos, when I first started getting started, and this was the first thing I named, which became sort of known to be my style as a chaos style player, until I finally realized that chaos is just a hold, it's just a position. And from chaos, there's many different techniques. So chaos is not my style, no is my style. It's a little bit of new, a little bit of old. It's building foundations for new innovations on the history of a culture. This is a flow art, this is a circus art, this is also a rhythmic dance, and it becomes a skill toy when you learn to embrace these yin and yangs of the flow and the rhythm. A circle has 2 beats to it, as described in most orbiting skills. And this flow is understood to be a rhythm that you can dance. So if you move your body instead of your arms, you can just pretty much keep your arms out there and turn your body, so you just start swaying with it. Develop a rhythm until this becomes a skill that you can stutter and pattern your rhythms with your orbits, and you learn to articulate, controlling 3 basic legs, 1 flow and 2 ebbs when you're in chaos position, the only 3-legged hold. Well, that's not true, it's not the only 3-legged hold. You have sauce as well, which is first, second chaos. But the concept of chaos is in this hold, if these 2 don't go through here, it's 90-95% less likely to tangle. There's still other ways it can tangle. This loop, one of the balls could go through there, make it look like a messy knot, but it'll pull back out. So as long as these 2 don't go through here, you're eliminating about 90-95% of the tangles that happen. So you can trust in the confidence that when it stops like that, it's going to come untangled. So you can twist a flow. So if you have a flow and you're twisting it back on the other legs, you twist it like this, because then it can untwist. Or you can twist it in and then changed directions, and now it's untwisting. So when you change your plane, you go from a right to a left side plane. You're tangling and untangling it. So these little tiny releases there also let it untangle, where you secure one position and you're doing some sort of dual rooted position. The root is where on your body the object is contacting you. So a root could be the arm when you do arm wraps and arm pulls. Could be a finger, could be your teeth. You hand it to your mouth at some point. But all of these are your positions. Your position has other categories that define it, but in the basic understanding, it's how you're holding it. It's your ball, string, or combination hold when talking about three-dimensional orbiting or any form of this attached juggling style that I see as my culture. It's a little bit different than poise, so it's not quite understood just because you have poise skills. But if you can spin an object or two, a lot of glow stickers use double objects, you'll be able to get it. And then you vary your lengths, and the lengths are going to vary the control and the speed that that bob needs to travel to stay in the same orbit. So I invented a technique called a Ferris, where you hang all three of them at different lengths. This is a Ferris. A Ferris is trying to keep all three objects in that same orbit, not letting them separate. That takes a lot of time to get the three objects in a unison when they're different lengths. So you learn techniques like that. Those are orbit control techniques. I need to develop all of these different holds and hangs and how many legs are active or inactive in each device. But I'm going to write a book soon so that the doesn't go misunderstood forever. I want everyone to have a misunderstanding and understand my mission. Life is a little bit of hit-miss. You just got to keep going. You miss a million times, but when you hit the bullseye, everyone's going to forget how many times you missed. It's going to talk about that amazing bullseye you just hit. Don't live in the past, keep throwing for the bullseye, but build on your accomplishments. And I will be hitting the target in creating a misuse of my language. The MISS, Mentoring Support System, or the HTMSS, How-To Mentoring Support System. The how-to can be a lot of different things, but the MISS was originally written for Astrojax, this 3-ball flowing randomized juggling that I do. It now works for everything I do though. Skateboarding, heelys, breakdancing, DJing, MCing, beatboxing, all these things have a position and a technique application. Understood through the MISS. I hope you misunderstand a little